Perry McMahon with UKFightSite.com. Dan here at MTK Newcastle today with Brad Tarren. Brad, thanks for having us, Dan.
Anytime, mate, no problem.
Obviously, you've been training today. Thanks for taking time out to speak to us.
Of course, anytime.
How was the workout today? What was you doing?
Yeah, so we've had a bit. During the midweek, we take a bit of time away from the gym, and we go to a beach called King Edward's Bay, which is in Tynemouth, in the northeast of England, and we have some really nasty stair sprints to get through. Drills on the beach, wrestling drills, kickboxing drills. Today we took the hammers, so we're hammering the beach and then throwing kettlebells about. So anything really that just to make it a bit more nasty than it normally is. You know, it's not a break, but it is a break away from the gym, the sparring, the drilling, and I suppose a bit of fresh air. And it is, I mean, normally I'm training 2 or 3 times a day, but that session today is the only one I do because it is pretty harsh on the system. So thankfully that's my training over today. But it starts again tomorrow.
And is that all under with Richie Knox? Under
Richie Knox, yeah. So Richie Knox he's the co-owner of MTK Newcastle, and he's also my head coach. He's the lead pro MMA coach. Obviously, being a pro fighter himself, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So I feel pretty lucky to be under his tuition because he does know the fight game inside and out.
Yeah, I recently saw that you got your blue belt.
Yes, and that was from Richie. And I don't think there's another man on the planet I'd rather have my blue belt under. Richie's jiu-jitsu is all MMA related, and I guess that's relevant to me because I'm in the MMA game now. Sure. So I hardly wear the gi, which is good in the sense that I don't get used to lapels, neckties, or like, I don't know, the trousers. So it's all wrist, neck control, because I think if I do use the gi a little bit more, it would sort of give me more likelihood to grab a collar or grab some shorts, but I'm used to the wrists and body parts. So yeah, a bit of a proud moment. It took me just under 18 months to get that blue belt. Obviously going from not having a clue of jiu-jitsu to having a slight clue and gaining my last my belt in my last fight from a power guillotine. Obviously locked up the guillotine. I didn't realise I put on the power guillotine, but Noxie was like, "You see what you done there with that power guillotine?" I was like, "Nah." But obviously that was from his teaching, and it just became second nature. Just once I locked it on, cross over the hands and squeeze it in tighter, and it worked because he went to sleep.
And that earned your blue belt?
It earned my blue belt, yeah, so a very proud moment.
Brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate, thank you.
How long have you been training with Richie?
So I've been training with Richie for about 18 months as well. Okay. I've only been in the MMA game for just over 2 years, and what started out as a hobby, you know, my bread and butter was strength and conditioning for body composition purposes, and that's my job. So I was training to look good, to try and sell my business. But then when I started working out of what was the Bad Boy Training Centre, I was in a combat gym, and I've always had a love for martial arts. You know, I've been a fan of the UFC since I was a boy, since I was 14. Done a bit of Thai boxing in the past, and I found this was the time to give it a try. And I want to, you know, challenge myself in everything that I do. So, what's a better way to challenge yourself than fighting another man in a cage? Exactly, exactly.
Were the guys there from the beginning? Like, you know, you trained with Tommy Quinn, Joe Calboutin?
Yeah, so Tommy has been my good friend for a long time now. I've been friends with Tommy for over 5, 6 years. We actually went to uni together, but I didn't know him as a friend then. So I moved in with Tommy. Turns out he lives around the corner from the gym, and since that moment I've immersed myself within MMA. Obviously he's a pro fighter, Joe Calboutin just turned pro, but yes, both them guys were here from the offset, and I've been training with them guys from the beginning, and Richie Knox. So I have been training with pro guys from day dot, which is good in the sense that I'm getting the experience from experienced guys, but it's a bit shit in the fact that I get chinned regular in training. But it's toughened me up, and I'm learning from a high standard straight away. Yeah. And obviously they're there to help me, you know, pick up, learn from the early mistakes that I've made. And being a big guy and being coming from a bodybuilding background, I could hardly move. You know, I was too muscle bound. But thankfully I've reduced a bit of that mass, and I have been able to open up my hips and cater my gas tank for MMA rather than weight training, S&C.
So your next fight scheduled now for April 13th. You're going to be in London at York Hall.
Perfect. Iconic.
How do you feel you match up with Darryl John? Have you seen much of him?
Yeah, so I've only seen a couple of clips of Darryl John. I don't really want to focus too much on what they're doing. I'd rather just focus on my strengths, my weaknesses and my game plan. That job is up to my coach. I'll let him analyse Darryl John and then he can tell me what we can do from there. But what I have seen of Darryl John, he's a big, aggressive guy, likes to come forward. And I'm the same. I'm big, I'm aggressive, I like to come forward, I don't like to take a back step. So for anyone that's watching, I'm hoping it's going to be an entertaining bout. Two big guys going at it, trying to knock each other out. So apart from the couple of videos I've seen of him, I haven't seen too much. But like I said, that's up to my coach.
Yeah. This is going to be the first time you're fighting away from home.
That's right, yeah.
Is there any added pressure?
Well, I think the pressure gets lifted a little bit. You know, fighting in the northeast, you know, surrounded by my friends and family, that's where the pressure is, because you know you're always fighting with the demons. What if this happens? What if I get chinned? What if I get knocked out? What if I just look like a mug in the cage? That's going to be in front of my friends and family. Now, don't get me wrong. There's all them demons there still, but the added pressure of friends and family. Yeah, there'll be a few of my friends there, but my family won't be there. And I guess, I'm not too sure, is Darryl John from London?
Yeah.
So it's his backyard,
yeah.
And I'm guessing I'm going to have a bit more of a hostile response compared to what I have been. But I'm looking forward to that challenge. I'm looking forward to something different.
Yeah.
So, and I think your call, there couldn't be a better place to do it, on the MTK MMA show. I'm very happy and very proud to be a part of it.
Brilliant. What is the MMA scene like in Newcastle at the moment?
You know what? I mean, the northeast of England, it seems to go under the radar for a lot of things, anything. But like, you know, we've got a good stable of fighters in the northeast. You know, Ryan. Let's just say Bellator, for example. We had Ryan Scope, Bama world champion. We also had James Mulheron. He's fought in the UFC. Colin Fletcher, no, he wasn't on that bout. But Colin Fletcher's also fought in the UFC. These guys are all still active. And obviously Joe Calboutin, Tommy Quinn. Tommy Quinn's a vet. Been fighting for 12 years, one of my best friends, so I'm also one of his biggest fans. Don't tell him that though, don't show that. And Joe Calboutin, I mean, if you see some of his fight footage and if you see him training, you'll see he's a different level of athlete. And I think there's big things coming for Joe if he can keep his head screwed on and just do what he does best, and that's knocking people out. So I think with the stable that we've already got and guys coming through, I think the northeast of England has a really good sort of MMA potential. Yeah. And I'm hoping the success of the Bellator show will bring more shows like Bellator. Yeah. You know, the UFC's been here once before. Hopefully they'll come back. I'm sure Bellator will come back. And like the Cage Warriors, I don't know if Bama's still going. MTK MMA, we're hoping to run a show, I guess, back end of the year. And obviously get all the local lads on and get the local lads' names out there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else training from MTK Newcastle that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah. So obviously, this is probably going to be my last amateur bout, and then win, lose or draw, I would like to turn pro and give the pro game a go while I can. Like I said, I've entered the game a little bit late, 31, but we've developed a competition team membership out of this gym, and there's 5 or 6 guys which are coming through the ranks, which 3 of them have fought. They've had 1 bout each, but we've got another 3 which are ready for the debuts. Some young lads. We've got Harry, Ryan. Who else have we got? A guy called Assad, Neil. So all young lads, all hungry and hoping to make a statement on the stage, which I think they're fighting on Rise and Conquer, which is Fisher's show, and that's the end of April. So we've got 3 debuts and 3 second fights coming up soon. Right. So it'll be worth keeping an eye on them guys, that show, see what happens.
Oh, keep an eye.
Yeah.
We just spoke about Bellator.
Yeah.
I saw you was down there on the night, but both of your teammates picked up big wins, so really impressive wins. Yeah. How was that experience for you that night? What did you think of the show?
Okay, so first of all, Bellator done a really good job from the start to finish. Everything was on point, everything was organised, everything ran like clockwork, and to be a part of it was an absolute honour. And to be honest, I think I was more nervous being a part of that with my teammates than I would be if I was fighting, which sounds a bit crazy, but you know, the guys, I train with them every day, I see them every day with my best friends. Of course you're going to care, of course you're going to worry, you know, of the outcome. Of course you want them to win. Thankfully they both won in spectacular fashion, so I was absolutely over the moon. The full city was over the moon. Aaron as well. Aaron, one of my good friends, unfortunately he didn't get the decision that he wanted to. He did have the chance to finish him off. Yeah, so Aaron again. Aaron's one of my good pals, and we done a bit of S&C work for his first fight, and it coincided with my first fight. So we were both going through a similar sort of training phase, you know, jumping into the unknown. So we didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, Aaron's was on a bigger stage than mine, but still, it was debut fights. And if you haven't fought before, if you have fought before, you'll understand your first fight is an emotional roller coaster. So we worked a bit of S&C for that one, and then I also worked with him when Bama came to Newcastle, and he fought a guy called, I think it was Carl Donaldson. So S&C work, and obviously it paid off because he beat the first kid by an Americana, and he knocked out Carl Donaldson. So it helped. Obviously, as minute part of the training camp that might have been. Every training session counts. Yeah, no, the only one that doesn't count is the one that you missed. Yeah. So take a tiny bit of credit for that as well.
Take it. Is there any other fights that you've got your eye on the MTK MMA card?
So because Joe was potentially going to be entered into this featherweight eliminator for the world title, I did do a bit of research on one of the bouts, and that is Diego Barboza and Jabid.
Oh, great bout, yeah.
Great bout. I haven't seen much of Diego Barboza, but I see he's got a decent record. We follow Jabid on the MTK. Follow Jabid on Instagram, and he's always posting cool training videos. Obviously, I think he's 10-0 amateur. Yeah. And then obviously he's smashed his pro debut. So 2 prospects, and I'm looking forward to watching them. And I guess measured up for Joe as well. What's it going to be like for Joe? I mean, Joe at the minute, he's happy at lightweight, not feather. But if he needed to get down, he could get down. So I'd make sure of that. That's part of my responsibility, to make sure the guys are on weight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I know there was meant to be a light heavyweight bout on that card, but I guess that's been.
I think so. Yeah.
It's a bit
confirm that. I'll post that up.
Like I said, anyone that's my weight, I'm going to show interest, because I'm not going to stay amateur for the rest of my MMA career. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll have a pro bout under my belt, and they're the guys I'll be looking at to have potential matchups in the future.
Brilliant, mate. Good luck with everything. I'm going to keep my eye on your bat, definitely.
Spot on.
Good luck with everything. I'll let you crack on.
Spot on, Perry. Absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you very much. Mate.